Russia's Supreme Court has effectively outlawed LGBTQ activism after labeling the community an extremist group. The judges approved an application by the country's justice ministry, which argued that authorities had identified manifestations of an extremist nature in the international LGBTQ movement. It's the latest in a series of laws restricting gay and lesbian rights in Russia. DW Correspondent Jennifer Pahlke, she joins us now from the Latvian capital Riga. That is where our Moscow bureau moved after it was shut down by Russian authorities. Jennifer, it's good to see you. So talk to me about what this ruling really means for the LGBTQ community inside Russia.
Well, Bren, to put it shortly, it means that people from the LGBTQ community in Russia are under threat more than ever before. Technically speaking, this ruling forbids any form of LGBTQ activism, as you have said. But because the ruling was kind of vague, there are fears that people simply belonging to the LGBTQ community could be arrested, prosecuted, and then face long-term prison sentences. But it's not only people, it's also organizations that use symbolism that is related to the LGBTQ movement, like rainbows or rainbow flags, for example. These could also become a target. Another possibility is that LGBTQ people living in Russia now could try to leave Russia for good, as they have to fear for their safety now more than ever.
So, Jennifer, I want to be clear on this. That means, so if a man were to go out in public somewhere in Russia and say, I am a gay man, that just by saying that publicly, he could be labeled an extremist and he could be arrested?
Absolutely correct, Brent. He can be labeled an extremist. But generally speaking, the extremist label has been used by Putin in the past, not only to silence the LGBTQ community, but also human rights activists, political opponents, as well as media. But the anti-LGBTQ rhetoric is a central part of Putin's political agenda. In supporting so-called traditional values, he hopes to gain the favor of traditionalists ahead of the 2024 Russian presidential elections. While Putin has not announced officially that he will be running for president, it is widely believed that he will do exactly that. And this ruling comes after several laws further suppressing LGBTQ people in Russia. Like, for example, the extension of the law on gay propaganda, which was in 2013 only directed at children and now also includes adults.
And what about the broader aims of Putin's campaign against what he calls Western values?
While Kremlin critics say that this ruling is Putin's latest attempt to create an internal enemy, so to speak, a scapegoat, as vilifying Ukraine and Ukrainians has not worked out as Putin hoped it would. It is important to notice that this rhetoric about so-called traditional values has massively increased with Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So this rhetoric is also used to position the war in Ukraine as a war of values and worldviews. Russia claims that it wants to protect these traditional values, while Ukraine is influenced by Western, quote, abnormal liberal values.
DW's Jennifer Pahlke with the latest tonight from Riga. As always, Jennifer, thank you.